Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm, of course, the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D, surrounded by the squadron and you. Yes, you're live right here with us, right here on Team JRF TV. And yo, like I said, welcome back to the show. And, well, I should have did this 2 weeks ago. I should have. But it's just one of those instances where, happy accidents happen. And I'm glad that it's been 2 weeks. And I had a couple of minutes to do a thing related to the thing we're talking about. And you read the title. And yes, we are talking about the state of one of my favorite series of all time, the Virtual On series. Because 2 weeks ago, the Cyber Troopers Virtual On Masterpiece 1995 to 2001 collection came out. And things. I wasn't able to buy it immediately, but I finally got my hands on it a couple of hours ago, played it for a little bit, and came back from that experience and also hearing the things that have immediately surrounded this series since this collection dropped, and just trying to figure out where we sit right now. However, though, but before we get into all of that, we should at least, take a look at the Virtual Masterpiece trailer. I figured we'll at least do that. So let's sis, come illuminate the darkness with your light, sweetheart. Just like that. There's a white screen. I need my remote to the TV. And I just dropped it on the floor because, this is live television, whatever. So, it was fine where it was. I didn't even need it. Look, let's take a look at this trailer. We're just going to take a look at it because it's journalistic integrity, so that we do so. But I really have a lot to say about where this series sits right now. But again, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't show the trailer first. So, with all that being said, now activating the Cyber Troopers Virtual On Masterpiece 1995 to 2001 trailer. .exe. See? Brings the three main games together: Virtual On Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, and Cyber Troopers Virtual On 4, the Force, baby. Got a lot to dissect. I'm gonna stop talking because it just let me stuff talking. Keep in mind that I'm just gonna talk. I thought I wasn't, but yeah, keep in mind some things here because there's a lot to dichotomize even looking. I knew I sat down after I got a chance to play it for a little bit, just to try to compare feels between the different versions that I'm aware of and things like that. Because that's mainly what I bought it for, at least until we discuss why I really bought it, which has something to do with the state thereof of the video game. But I'll just be like this: simple review, what it costs is if you're not a fan, you wait on the series, but if you're me and you love this series the way you do, you pay whatever price this is. Keep in mind that menu because that's going to come in handy as soon as we're done watching this trailer. Because there's a lot that you should be very noticing about what you're looking at. Even though my talking gets distracted from it, I'll explain. I'm just at this point. I'm just stalling to get this trailer out the way because I wanted to make this video under different circumstances. And maybe if I just made this video 2 weeks ago, just being like, yo, let's watch the trailer, yo, it's out and things like that. With all of that being said, and thinking that keep this in mind too. This is important. We'll be talking about that beauty that I wish I could get my hands on, but I don't have $400 like that. Cyber Troopers Virtual On Masterpiece 1995 to 2001. 4,500 yen. That's not exactly what the price it is online right now. But trailer, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, you heard me blab over a trailer because I couldn't really hold in what it is that I need to say about this. But now, let me say what it is that I need to say. When this was announced, way back whenever that was announced, last year, I had my thoughts about what this could possibly be. And how that this could possibly enhance everything Cyber Troopers Virtual On that I own. I have the Netlink Sega Saturn version. I have the PS2 version of the original Cyber Troopers Virtual On. I have Oratorio Tangram on the Dreamcast. I got it on the 360. I got Force. I have all these things. Bought the DLC, the whole nine. I even got the titty DLC because I bought a limited edition version of a video game. We are gonna take a look at that one of the days. But regardless of that, a couple hours ago, like I said, Like, I didn't buy it when it came out because I didn't have the money and wasn't able to make the hustle while I was. Got the bread, bought it. But I bought it for a different reason than I would have normally. Lately, over the past 2 weeks, there's been a lot of talk about what this collection means for the future of this franchise. And the future of this franchise includes a certain magical virtual on, which is, even though being constantly updated to use that twin stick you saw in the trailer right there, the DLC has been gone for months. And it was promised that at some point it was gonna come back, and it still hasn't yet. But that may have a lot to do with the characters in that game being licensed for mobile games and things like that. So it may come back soon, but given the doom and gloom that you hear about that this is the last chance for these things to exist, it's kind of crazy to think about. The thing, though, the thing that's most important about what it is you're getting into, if you decide to, because I'm going to tell you, honestly, if you are not a fan of Virtual On and you looking to get on this, please wait for a sale. And I'm not saying that from a standpoint of I should be telling you to buy this at full price. It's not worth the money. And it's not worth the money for one important reason. These could have been fully realized versions of the 3 video games involved, but yet they're not. And there were some points where I knew it wasn't going to be certain things. Virtual On, OG Cyber Troopers Virtual On was never going to be the Sega Ages PS2 version. That is the version of Cyber Troopers Virtual On, and it is a must-have for anybody who even cares about Sega's history. And it shows that M2 State of Guards, just like that. All the extra stuff that they add to the game, we won't even get into it. Just know there are a lot of fun things, and especially when M2 took over the Sega Ages series on PS2, they did a lot of good, especially when they came in and started adding all these wonderful things, which made me wish they were available from the beginning and how different things could have been if they were. But even before M2 got their hands on it, there are some great outliers in the Sega 80s collection which stand out given the job that D3 did with the people that they got on the case for those. So it is what it is. On top of that, well, let's say you're not interested in paying for a copy of Virtual On just to play singly by yourself, whether that's getting the 360 or the PS3 version, which is technically the version that's in here, minus something very important that's missing from all 3 of the games in the collection. Well, you do have another option. You could just buy Kiwami 2 and just, earn enough money, go to an arcade, and just go play that version that is available on the PS3 and 360 right inside of a video game. You really gotta love what Yakuza does with these games. I'm like, for the record, let it be said while I'm talking about it. The version of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown inside of Yakuza 6 is not the full version of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. They should release the full arcade final release of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown with all cosmetics, everything. But Sega's still not hearing me on that, so hey, what you want to do? But again, where we are right now when it comes to Cyber Troopers Virtual On is that if you're looking for a full, raw experience that's better even in the arcade and that hasn't been top since, go buy the PS2 version. If I'm not mistaken, that's not, well, you know what? Hell, we'll check real quick. I don't care. We got time. You have nothing but time. Neither do I. So, let me take a look. Let me see. According to this, let me see. Okay, so for the record, because I went and looked, that's not on the PS3. The Sega Ages version of Virtual On, well, Cyber Troopers Virtual On is not on the PS3. We could say really quickly that the version of Virtual On Mars that is on the Japanese PlayStation Network is the best version of Virtual On Mars you can play. Even though I could have left that for the fourth part of this thing, but just, if you want to play Virtual On Mars really, really bad, you can buy the PS3 version, and it supports twin sticks, which I think is kind of dope. But it is what it is. So, again, where we stand when we talk about Cyber Troopers Virtual On is, if you want the version, go buy the Sega Ages version on PS2. Import the market. Play it on a PS2 or a PS3. Just however you got to do that, however you get down. But know that even this, that the version as part of the Masterpiece Collection is some weird version of the one that was in Yakuza Kiwami 2 without any local multiplayer, which is gonna be a thing throughout this. Here's the spoiler. They took out local multiplayer in all 3 games, and I have no idea why the hell they would do that. Like, I don't even get that. Unless they finna add it in later as an update for DLC, and we're gonna get more into what DLC is when we get to Force, but I just want to just lay that out now so I don't have to say it later. Awkward transition aside, let's talk about Oratorio Telegram. It's a version of the 360 version, 5.66. It's like, that is the version of virtual Oratorio Telegram, 5.66. It has been ported from the 360 version that came out forever ago, and if you own the PS3 or own the 360 at some point, you should have that game in your collection, because that is one of the best things that Xbox Live Arcade ever did once they sat up here and let all the restrictions and start letting these companies go dumb with the platform. The thing is, with that being said, it's a stripped down version of it, and that again, underlining thing here. Stripped down version of great video game. Wondering why you couldn't just port the 360 version over with the local multiplayer and all that good stuff. Wondering why. Is that gonna come in an update? Who knows? Game's still solid, but if you've been spoiled on the 360 version for years, which is the only way people had a real legal way to play it, you sit here now at that precipice, and you turn that fan off, and understand that this isn't quite what it is. So again, it's more of that understanding what it is you're getting into with the price that they're asking for this thing. And then we get to Force. Force is the worst for her, because Force, as a port of a 10-year-old game at the time it was released on the 360, added a whole lot. Had DLC for boobies. It was a fully featured video game, which this version strips all of that stuff out. No mission mode, no boobs, nothing, just Force with online in it. And, well, it's virtual on Force with online in it. Again, there is nothing wrong with these games being more tuned to be online, but it was something special about having split screen matches and stuff that made it special, that maybe there was some reason they had to take out the option to do it because it was PS4. Maybe it couldn't handle it, but I find it hard to believe that I'm making excuses for a video game running on a system like the PlayStation 4 that you can't handle split screen mechs from a game that was made over 20 something years ago. Just saying. What? Virtual On came out what? The original Virtual On came out what, 96? Or 95, 96, I want to say? So yeah, I don't know what you want from me, but I didn't want to come and sit down and say what it is that I had to say, but this is a game of legitimately know what you buying before you buying it. Also understanding is that, like I said earlier, and I'll elaborate on it now, I bought this game for a different reason other than owning the video game. When you hear things like this may be the end of Virtual On, but when you also think about when a certain magical Virtual On came out, and it was kind of like, well, at least they doing something with the franchise, bro, I'm with you. And I bought a limited edition version for both the PS4 and the Vita, bought all the DLC and the whole nine just to support the series. And it's like, I get like that sometimes, especially about it's been nothing about Virtual On other than, its appearance in Kiwami 2 and things like that, and knowing that happened, like, yo, I got to get out there and I got to support what it is that I love. Let's be for real. Where I'm from in America, KKK, game been dead, bro. Game been dead. Done. Like, I don't know how many people bought Oratorio Tangram. I have no idea how many people bought that on the 360. The Model 2 version of Virtual On that came out on the PS3 and 360 never even came out in America. Neither did Force on the PS3. And it's just that, and neither did Force on the PS3, and neither did Mars either. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's this weird thing that, again, like, game dead in the water. But it's people that still love and care about this game. However, it's diminishing. So I sit up here and understand and know they had to do what they had to do. They literally had to literally crowdfund a twin stick to make it. I would have loved one of those, but it was really hard to give those people money. And the only way to get a twin stick to literally give these people money was to give these people money and pay for it up front. So that's an interesting conundrum too. But I sit here now, and it's like, after absorbing all of this, because again, I get into this sometimes with people who made it all the way to this point, and I get a little indulgent about the things I say because it gives me a chance to get in that feeling and think about this because I'm speaking to you, the viewer, and understanding and knowing, like, how the hell did we get here? Like, as a fan of this franchise who appreciates it the way that I do, and knowing that there are like-minded folk like me who love the Virtual On series, is how did we get here? Was that bad marketing on Sega from America's part? Did the Japan branch not do enough? Is fighting mechs not cool for you, bruh? I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know, and maybe I wish I did. Here's hoping that this collection does some good for this franchise. Here's hoping that DLC comes back and that you can buy a version of it digitally again. Here's hoping that what it worked, that maybe this thing will start selling twin sticks or something. A thing I wish that MANIACAL would have hopped on during the 360 era, but they didn't for whatever reason. And whatever, but they're gone now, so man, water under that bridge. But I don't know what else to really say here. Like, I bought that collection, and like I said, I understood where I spent my money, why I spent it, and that maybe my little 50 in the bucket will be what this game needs, what this franchise needs to push forward to do something. Now, I don't think we finna have a new Virtual On game. Like, if we ain't finna get a Virtual Fighter 6, I don't see a Virtual On happening. But maybe this comes to PC and Steam. Maybe this comes to the Xbox One or the PS5 or whatever Project Scarlet is. I don't know. Because speaking of that, because that's the other question that you may have. The answer to your question is this: only Oratorio Tangram is backwards compatible with the Xbox One for whatever strange ass reason. It's weird. It's like there are games that came out of Japan that I wish were backwards compatible. It is one of the reasons why I slowed on buying an Xbox One, was because I was originally buying an Xbox One to be a fully backwards compatible 360 machine, a region-free backwards compatible 360 machine, but the majority of the games that I want to play are not backwards compatible for whatever reason, namely a whole bunch of cave shooters, and namely games like Virtual On Force for whatever reason, even though Oratorio Tangram is backwards compatible, so why isn't Cyber Troopers or Force backwards compatible with the same system? Don't know. Don't have any clue. And it's a sad state of affairs that's the case. But it is what it is, and you do what you do with that information. But look, though. Do what you can. I have links in the description where it is you can get the game on the Japanese PlayStation Network if you're interested. You may want to try to use websites like PS Prices to keep up with it. That if you're interested and you heard what I got to say, and that multiplayer and not local multiplayer is a killer for you, or that Virtual On Force being just a bare bones port is a thing that stings at you, or knowing that you can go buy that you can go buy Kiwami 2 and go play Cyber Troopers Virtual On inside of a video game on some meta shit, or that if you already own Oratorio Tangram, you have the best version that you can play on the Xbox One right now. Then yeah, wait on the sale. If you want to add this part of your thing, I'm like, honestly think it's wait for a sale. Unless you see it and you just gotta have it, I can't tell nobody to go buy this. If you not a hardcore virtual on fan stand, I cannot tell you to go spend $50 on this. I want, you know what? Let me negate myself, but not negate myself before we get up out of here. The fan in me wants to tell you that if you're even vastly minuscule interested in what this series is, for $50, given what these games are, not that bad. The hustle man in me is like, well, actually, let's take it from this. The hustle man in me and the collector in me combined to be this new force of understanding of I own the best copy, the best versions of these video games, and because of the way that my life is set up, I have easy access to these things, and not being that the PS4 is my only system in the whole world hooked to a TV. So it makes it a little harder for me, for that version of me to be like, well, if I want to play the best copy of Virtual On, I can go get it out of a box and go play this son of a bitch right now. If I really need to play Oratorio Tangram, I can hook up a 360, which is currently hooked up right now, and the same for Force. Well, actually, the only thing that isn't as immediately accessible to me is the PS3 version that came out of Japan of Mars. But other than that, I have a copy of Mars on PS2, so if I really want to play them, I can. So that dude in me is kind of like, man, dude, wait for a sale, bro. And it's like, and that duality and all of that of being that, as a fan, understand that this may be this series' last gasp and hurrah to be, yeah, you should support cool shit and you should spend $50 on this. But the person in me who understands that these games have been stripped of the things that enhance their replayability and make them special are gone in exchange for nothing but online stuff, and it's kind of like, I'm sleepy a little bit. And that's kind of where we are. I hate that's where we are. But that's where we is. That's where we is. Improper grammar aside. That's just where we at right now. If you have a way to play these versions of the video games at their most highest of highs, then think about it a little bit. If you're interested in this and you got $50 to burn, but understanding and knowing that there are other ways to experience this, and you could maybe wait on the sale if you're not immediately like trying to get at it, then I see your point. On top of that, the thing in the room that we probably should have discussed, maybe not 22 minutes into the damn video, is this may not be coming out in America or any other language. This may not even be getting an Asian release. I'm like, I heard zero about a physical. You would think, and as I kick the camera, let me readjust that, is I heard nothing is the whole build up to this as a digital thing, but understanding and knowing better to get a digital thing than nothing at all. I had that conversation yesterday with somebody. But seriously, it's like, this is one of those things that may be down the line, if it get released in America, you may see limited runs that are like, yo, we got the limited edition joint, or the first long stuff, or, you know, things like that. But that's just one of those things you just got to sit and wait on and see. But I'd say, if you waiting to see if this because when I think about it, because here's why I think about it on this. If, and this is a big if somebody at Sega of America or somebody licenses to do the work, they have a whole video game to translate that Virtual On Force. They have a whole video game that they got to translate. Oratorio Tangram came out in English. Cyber Troopers Virtual On, well, that came out in Japanese, but they have an English version which they can reference. So, not a whole lot of work needs to be done in that department, but Force is a whole game you got to translate. And even though there's no multiplayer, there's no DLC immediately right now, and my hope is they add back the Force DLC and add that stuff in there. But we'll see. Regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, we have got plenty of more show for you, so please, even given my melancholic nature of I want you to buy this, but I can't really tell you to because of what it actually is, please sit back, relax, stay tuned. Me, I'm of course the one and only triple the G.O.D, aka Mr. C-R-A-C-K, C-O-C-A-I-N-E, hashtag entertainment's number one dope man, exclamation point, and of course, I am the baddest monster in existence, and don't you ever forget it. Holding down my 6 as you, jail, squish, murder, and the squadron, the congregation, may they be praised indeed. Betsy, Magdalene, and of course, your girl and my Miss Martha, holding down the unos, the doses, the thraces, and the cuatros, baby. Throw them up. Stay winning, never losing around here. You know what it is. Yo, if you made it to the end of this and this is your first time through, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell to know what we doing. Hit that thumbs up if you like it. Hit that thumb down if you didn't. And please leave a comment in the description. Flick that back over there to you. If you got something that you want to say, and if you want to say that to me off grid, you can do that plenty of places in my social media links down below. And and if you want to support this show with your cash money, you can do so via PayPal in the link down below. And also you can join my patrons, my main man and my partner here, Tyron Bomber. And of course my folks, Young Money Bags, my boy Drew, what's good family. And support me on Patreon and keeping this show going, even though it's going to keep going and going and going and going. Look, seriously. This was a hard video to make. I ain't gonna lie. This was not the video I wanted to make. This would not have been the video I would have made 2 weeks ago. But 2 weeks ago, I didn't have that information. 2 weeks ago, it's, let me tell you that, for $50, man, you can get 3 great games. But now I have to tell you, after spending my own $50 and telling you that, it's still 3 great games, but it's 3 great games that are stripped of a lot of their extra content that made them special, and that if you have ways to fully experience what they were before these cuts, you should probably do it that way, but still support the series anyway, and find some balance about how you want to do that. I think that's what I want to say. Maybe if I had said that at the beginning, the video wouldn't have been 26 minutes long. And what you gonna do? Seriously. Like I said, sit back, relax, and stay tuned. We have got plenty of more show, bang, for you, and we've got it right after these commercial messages. Like I said, man, we got plenty of more show for you, Like I said, I had the links to where you can get it on PSN in Japan and things like that. If there are any changes, any updates, any DLC things, whether that's regarding the Masterpiece Collection or preferably whenever the DLC comes back for a certain magical virtual arm, I'll be sure to make a video and let you guys know. But regardless of all of that, plenty of more show for you right after these commercial messages.